Imagine this for a moment. You're in your 70s, maybe even your 80s or 90s, and yet you're standing tall, walking confidently, and taking the stairs without hesitation. You rise from your chair without needing to push off. Your legs feel solid, steady, dependable, just like they used to. It might sound unrealistic, but for many seniors, this kind of strength is not only possible, it's within reach. Because the real secret to strong legs as you age isn't just found in the gym, it's found in your kitchen, on your plate, through the nutrients you give your body each and every day. You see, most older adults are missing at least one of the key vitamins that keep their muscles strong, their nerves sharp, and their balance steady. And when even one of these nutrients is missing, the body begins to compensate in subtle, quiet ways. Steps feel heavier. Recovery takes longer. And slowly, independence begins to slip. Not because of age, but because the body isn't being nourished the way it needs to be. Welcome to Senior Fit. This channel is all about giving you real, science-backed strategies to help you stay strong, mobile, and independent through every season of life. Today, we're revealing 6 essential vitamins that support powerful, pain-free legs, especially after 60. These are the nutrients that build strength from the inside out, without expensive supplements or complex routines. And I want you to stay with me through the end, because the final vitamin on this list is often overlooked even by doctors. Yet it could be the single most important one for restoring the strength and coordination you may have thought you lost for good. But let's start with the foundation, the one nutrient that supports both strength and stability. Let's talk about vitamin D, often called the sunshine vitamin. Vitamin D plays a much bigger role than most people realize, especially when it comes to your legs. It doesn't just help your bones absorb calcium. It helps your muscles contract properly. Without it, even everyday movements, like getting up from a chair or walking uphill, can start to feel more difficult than they should. Vitamin D helps regulate the very minerals your muscles need to function. And if your levels are too low, you might find that your legs simply don't respond the way they used to. But here's something even more important. Vitamin D also supports balance. That's right. It directly affects the muscle fibers responsible for fast responses, the kind that help you catch yourself when you stumble or adjust your step if the ground is uneven. Studies have shown that older adults with low vitamin D levels are significantly more likely to fall. And as we age, a fall isn't just a fall. It can be the beginning of a long road of recovery, or even the loss of independence altogether. Now, sunlight does help your body produce vitamin D naturally. But here's the catch: as we age, our skin becomes less efficient at making that conversion. So, even if you're spending time outside, you still may not be getting enough. That's where food steps in. Fatty fish, like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, fortified milk and cereals, egg yolks, sunlight, exposed mushrooms. These foods are natural sources of vitamin D. But it's important to remember, vitamin D is fat-soluble, meaning it absorbs best when paired with healthy fats like avocado, olive oil, or nuts. And sometimes, food isn't enough on its own. The organs that help activate vitamin D, your liver and kidneys, also become less efficient with age. That's why many older adults need slightly more of it than younger people just to maintain the same benefits. Research from Tufts University found that seniors with optimal vitamin D levels had up to 20% more leg strength compared to those who were deficient. Another study from Norway tracked seniors for 5 years and found that those who maintained adequate levels had 40% fewer mobility issues. That's not just a number. That's the difference between walking to your mailbox or needing someone to bring the mail to you. If you already take a supplement, consistency matters. Small daily doses tend to work better than large, infrequent ones. Muscles, like plants, thrive with regular care, not floods. And if you've never had your vitamin D levels tested, this might be the perfect time to speak with your doctor, because vitamin D also plays a role in preserving the type 2 muscle fibers, the ones responsible for power reaction and preventing falls. When these fibers decline, so does your ability to move quickly and stay upright. Supporting them starts with vitamin D. But strength isn't just about muscles. It's also about the nerves that tell those muscles what to do. And that's where our next vitamin comes in. Let's talk about vitamin B12, the fuel your nervous system depends on. Vitamin B12 plays a vital role in forming red blood cells, which carry oxygen throughout your body, including to the large muscles in your legs. But perhaps more importantly, it supports the myelin sheath, the protective covering around your nerves. Think of it like insulation around a wire. When that insulation thins or breaks down, signals from your brain slow down, misfire, or don't reach their destination at all. That's why a B12 deficiency doesn't always show up as fatigue. It often shows up as leg weakness, numbness, or that strange pins and needles feeling in your feet. Some people feel like their legs just aren't responding fast enough. Others feel shaky or like they're dragging one leg behind the other. And here's what makes it harder. B12 deficiency can sneak up quietly. As we age, our stomachs produce less acid, which is necessary to extract B12 from food. If you're taking medications like antacids, metformin for diabetes, or certain blood pressure drugs, you may be absorbing even less. So, even if you're eating meat, dairy, and eggs all rich in B12, your body might not be making good use of it. That's why some older adults do better with sublingual B12, the kind you let dissolve under your tongue, or B12 injections when needed. Always consult with your doctor, especially if you've had symptoms like fatigue imbalance or unexplained leg heaviness. The good news is the body often responds very quickly once B12 levels are restored. In fact, studies show that older adults with healthy B12 levels walk faster, balance better, and even experience improved mental clarity. One study from Johns Hopkins found that even before blood levels fully normalized, seniors felt more stable, coordinated, and energetic simply because their nerves were communicating more effectively. And it doesn't stop there. Vitamin B12 is also essential for methylation, a biochemical process involved in energy production, detoxification, and even muscle regeneration. When methylation is sluggish, often due to low B12, you may feel older than you are, even if your lab tests still look normal. If you're on, say, daily Soskekin, consider asking your doctor about checking B12 at least a few times a year, not just during annual exams. It could be the key to unlocking strength you didn't even know you had left. So if you've been feeling off balance, if your steps feel uncertain, or if your legs just don't have the energy they used to, it may not be aging. It might simply be B12, and the moment you give your body what it needs, it begins to repair. Now that we've talked about activating muscles and powering nerves, it's time to look at what holds everything together. Your structure, the tendons that anchor muscles, the ligaments that support joints, the fibers that allow your legs to move with grace and confidence. That structure relies on three powerful nutrients: vitamin C, vitamin E, and vitamin K. Each one plays a unique role in preserving not just muscle strength, but also flexibility, stability, and recovery. Let's begin with vitamin C, a nutrient most people associate with colds and citrus fruit, but rarely with the strength in their legs. Vitamin C is far more than an immune booster. It's the primary driver of collagen production. And collagen is what keeps your muscles, tendons, and ligaments strong and elastic. Without it, tissue becomes fragile, recovery slows, joints feel stiffer, and muscles feel sore, even after mild activity. If you've ever taken a walk and felt unusually tight or achy afterward, if your legs take longer to bounce back after stairs or yard work, low collagen could be part of the reason. And without vitamin C, your body simply can't make enough of it. But that's just one piece of the puzzle. Vitamin C is also a powerful antioxidant, helping to reduce the slow, chronic inflammation that accumulates with age and activity. This kind of inflammation doesn't show up as a fever or redness, but as muscle fatigue, longer healing times, and subtle stiffness that creeps in with each passing year. Vitamin C also supports the production of carnitine, a molecule that allows your muscles to use fat for fuel. That matters because as we age, our bodies become less efficient at accessing stored energy, especially during the first few minutes of movement. Vitamin C helps reverse that sluggishness and restores some of that youthful responsiveness. You can get vitamin C from simple, everyday foods, citrus fruits like oranges and lemons, berries, kiwis, bell peppers, and broccoli. But here's something important. Your body doesn't store vitamin C. It's water soluble, and any excess is flushed out. That's why you need small, consistent doses throughout the day. Not a massive pill in the morning, but a little fruit at breakfast, some raw veggies at lunch, and a handful of berries in the evening. When your vitamin C intake is steady, your legs don't just feel stronger. They recover faster, stay more supple, and support longer walks without soreness. Next, let's talk about vitamin E, your muscles' natural shield. Every time you move even gently, your muscles create tiny tears and oxidative stress. This is normal, but over time, if those tears aren't repaired properly, or if that stress accumulates, it can lead to weakness, stiffness, and slower recovery. Vitamin E is a potent antioxidant that protects your muscle cells, especially the mitochondria inside them, which act like tiny batteries powering every step you take. As we age, mitochondria become more vulnerable, but vitamin E helps defend them, keeping energy production high and fatigue low. You'll find vitamin E in almonds, sunflower seeds, hazelnuts, and olive oil. It's fat soluble, meaning it absorbs better when eaten with healthy fats. So pairing nuts or seeds with a salad dressed in olive oil is a simple, effective way to get more of it. And here's something fascinating. Vitamin E works best when combined with selenium, a trace mineral found in Brazil nuts. Together, they activate a system in your body called glutathione. Peroxidase, your inner defense team against muscle breakdown. Seniors with adequate vitamin E and selenium have been shown to recover faster after activity with less muscle soreness and better day-to-day mobility. Vitamin E also supports muscle repair by keeping your satellite cells, those small stem cells inside muscle tissue, ready to respond. As we get older, these cells become sluggish. But with enough vitamin E, they stay more active, helping you rebuild muscle after walking, lifting, or even after periods of rest. And if that weren't enough, vitamin E helps regulate inflammation, making sure it stays in balance, stimulating healing, but never becoming excessive. That's especially helpful if your legs tend to feel sore longer than they used to. So if you've noticed more aches after simple movement or recovery that takes days instead of hours, consider adding more vitamin E-rich foods to your diet. It could make every step feel easier. Now, let's turn to a nutrient you've probably heard of in the context of blood clotting, but its role in leg strength is just as important: vitamin K. Vitamin K is your body's calcium coordinator. It helps guide calcium to the places it's needed, like your bones and muscles, and keeps it away from places it shouldn't be, like your arteries or soft tissues. Without enough K, calcium can settle in the wrong places, leading to stiffness, reduced flexibility, and even impaired blood flow. And that matters because stiff legs aren't just uncomfortable. They affect how long you can walk, how fast you can react, and whether your body can absorb impact safely in case of a stumble. There are two main forms of vitamin K, K1, found in leafy greens like spinach, kale, and collards, and K2, found in fermented foods like natto, some cheeses, and egg yolks. While K1 supports clotting, K2 helps activate proteins like osteocalcin, which strengthens bones and improves muscle sensitivity to insulin, meaning your muscles use energy more efficiently during activity. This is especially important for extended movement, like climbing stairs or walking longer distances. Studies have found that seniors who consume more vitamin K, especially K2, show better endurance and postural strength, with reduced risk of falls and fractures. And here's another important relationship. Vitamin K works in synergy with vitamin D. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium, but vitamin K helps direct it. Without K, calcium may deposit in the wrong places, including your blood vessels and muscles, actually making things worse. That's why, if you're already supplementing with vitamin D, but not seeing the improvements you hoped for vitamin K, might be the missing link. The good news is this nutrient is easy to add naturally. A simple spinach salad, some lightly sautéed greens with olive oil, or even a fermented food, like natto, once a week can make a real difference. The key is consistency. Small amounts regularly, just like the other nutrients we've discussed. Together, vitamins C, E, and K form a powerful trio. C builds the connective tissue. E shields the muscle fibers from damage. K coordinates calcium and strengthens both bone and muscle function. Now, we've covered 5 of the 6 essential vitamins. But one remains, and this last one, vitamin B6, just might be the most underestimated of them all. Because if you've ever felt like your legs are heavy, if your energy drops quickly during activity, or if you feel tension in your muscles at night, vitamin B6 could be the key to unlocking real strength. Let's take this final step together. If you've ever felt like your legs are slower than your mind, that your body wants to move, but something holds it back, or if you've been eating well, exercising gently, and still not seeing results, then this final nutrient could be the answer. Vitamin B6 is the quiet operator behind many of the body's most essential systems. It doesn't just help with strength. It helps with how strength is built, sustained, and coordinated. And for many older adults, it's the missing piece. Let's start with what B6 does best. It supports protein metabolism. Every bite of protein you eat, whether it's from chicken, fish, beans, or eggs, needs B6 to be transformed into usable building blocks for your muscles. Without it, protein can't do its job. You may eat well, but your muscles won't rebuild properly. That's why people with low B6A levels often feel like their body is stalling. Their recovery is slow. Their energy drops quickly, and their legs seem to resist rebuilding, especially after illness or rest. But B6's role goes even deeper. It's also essential for the nervous system, helping to produce neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin, and GABA. These chemical messengers play a critical role in how your nerves communicate with your muscles. When B6 is lacking, those signals become slower, weaker, or disrupted. This can lead to symptoms like heaviness in the legs, slow reflexes, poor coordination, or even muscle twitching. You may feel like your body has the strength, but not the spark. You want to move, but something just isn't clicking. And if you've experienced restless leg sensations, especially at night, 6 may help regulate that too. It supports the calming neurotransmitters that help muscles relax and remain steady while you sleep. B6 also plays a vital role in managing homocysteine, a compound that, when elevated, contributes to inflammation and muscle breakdown. Older adults with low B6 often show higher homocysteine levels, which quietly accelerate muscle loss and lead to that feeling of premature aging, even if your lifestyle is otherwise healthy. But when B6 is restored, something changes. Muscles begin to respond again. Energy returns during activity. Recovery speeds up. And the coordination between your mind and body becomes smoother. You can find B6 in simple foods like bananas, chicken potatoes, tuna, and fortified cereals. But here's something to keep in mind as we age. Absorption decreases, and medications, especially those for blood pressure or diabetes, can further block B6 pathways. That's why, even with a good diet, many seniors remain low in B6 without realizing it. And just like with other vitamins, B6 works best when paired, in this case, with magnesium. Together, they support over 30 Asashi enzymatic processes related to muscle contraction, relaxation, and energy production. A deficiency in either one can hide the deficiency in the other, so both need to be addressed. In one study, seniors who supplemented with both B6 and magnesium showed over 40% greater improvement in leg strength compared to those who supplemented with just one. That's a real measurable difference you can feel when getting out of a chair, walking across a room, or climbing a single flight of stairs. What's even more remarkable is B6's effect on muscle regeneration. It supports what scientists call satellite cells, the muscle stem cells that help repair and rebuild tissue after use. As we age, these cells become less responsive, but B6 helps keep them active, giving your muscles a better chance at rebuilding. Not just maintaining, but recovering and even regaining strength. One study found that older adults with optimal B6 levels retained 60% more regenerative muscle potential than those who were low. That means faster recovery after rest, after illness, after injury, and a greater chance of regaining lost mobility. So if your legs have felt weaker than they should, if your recovery seems slower, if you've done everything right and still don't feel like yourself, this might be where your body is quietly asking for help. It might not be aging. It might be vitamin B6. Let's pause here and reflect. We've now uncovered 6 essential vitamins, each one acting like a gear in a finely tuned machine. Vitamin D, the foundation that supports balance and contraction. Vitamin B12, the spark that fuels nerves and oxygen flow. Vitamin C, the builder of tissue collagen and endurance. Vitamin E, the shield that protects your muscles from wear. Vitamin K, the guide that sends strength to the right places. And vitamin B6, the conductor that brings it all together quietly but powerfully. These aren't just nice to have nutrients. For seniors, they are non-negotiable. Without them, even the best exercise plan or diet can fall short. But with them, something shifts. Recovery speeds up. Confidence returns. Energy stabilizes. And the strength that once felt lost begins to come back, because this journey isn't about fighting age. It's about nourishing life. Every step you take is a reflection of the care you give your body. And every meal, every choice, every moment of self-care is a quiet promise to yourself. I still have more life to live, and I want to live it well. So, which vitamin will you begin to focus on this week? What small change will you make today to support the strength and freedom you deserve tomorrow? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story. If this video helped you in any way, please give it a thumbs up. It lets us know we're helping people like you. And if you haven't yet subscribed to Senior Fit for more weekly tips and strategies to help you stay strong, balanced, and independent as you age, you don't have to do it all at once. Just begin with one step, one nutrient, one small act of care, because strong legs aren't built overnight, but they can be rebuilt day by day. Stay strong, stay steady, and I'll see you in the next video.